They tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
Like, they raid your crib, and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. Like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
It's a fresh video of YNW Melly committing a crime inside a prison turned the case around forever. He was acquitted at his first trial only because his girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, left the country and refused to testify. But she just got back to the country.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
And this has crushed YW. She immediately agreed to it and left prison. But there is another cost associated with this. Using jail phones, Melly immediately called her to flee. The country of practice known as witness tampering.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
Is the interview. Juvie did, in fact, leave the United States and did not show up for Melly's first trial. So YNW Melly will now be charged with witness tampering, which is different from his present case involving Sackhazer and Juvie's deaths. A life sentence in prison is imposed for this, regardless of whether Melly was the original offender. However, this is where it starts to get really concerning. For several months, Melly has been barred from using a phone. Thus, the jail has the evidence against him. His mother was even required to take part.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
The county jail wouldn't just forbid Melly from using the phones, which is against the law, if they didn't have evidence that he did. So in order to sway witnesses, that might result in a massive lawsuit and Melly's release from prison. Mariah's opposition to YNW Melly made everything worse, because YNW Bortlen's lawyers say that because Mariah has been announced to testify at the trial, there is no reason to go to trial for him. Since he is ready to turn on YNW Melly, they will now stand trial together in September.
Everything can remain set for trial September the 10th at 9 o'clock with Mr. Demon, pending whatever future motion that I may hear. I'm in another capital case right now. I have 4 hearing dates left available between now and September the 10th. I gave the parties those 4 dates, and I'm holding all of those dates and times open only for these 2 defendants. So anything that you need before, okay? Yes, sir.
The press claimed that at the beginning of Wednesday's hearing, Bortlen's attorney, Judge Martin Fiend, said, "So Mr. Haddad, for the time being, Mr. Henry is going to remain set for trial on September 10th with YNW Melly." It couldn't get much worse for him. Given that the process is already underway, the prosecutors will force Bortlen to come forward. A no communication order has been filed in the YNW Melly trial, according to the press. Bortlen and Melly are completely cut off by the decree. One lawyer gave the following explanation for Moreland's snitching: "No talking, no lawyer talk, just silence."
Here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial the penalty phase only if Melly is found.
Knowing that he didn't commit this horrible act, Bortlen would likely blame Melly right away, just like Melly did against Bortlen during the first trial. It will be impossible for him to sit there and accept life behind bars. The fact that Melly and Bortlen have not been friends since the first trial you didn't know about. The reason for this is that Melly's lawyer tried to place the blame.
His lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he has discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Bortlen lied to the federal government. According to Melly's own lawyer, there stood Bortlen, his hands smeared with powder. He was also the last to be with Juvie and Sackheiser when they died. They also brought in a forensic scientist to explain the killings in more detail regarding the powder residue on Morton's hand.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of powder residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of powder residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was powder residue present on the hands.
It was rumored that on the day Melly's mistrial was declared, W.W. Bortlen tweeted a mysterious comment indicating that Bortlen was not at all happy about this. As if he's accepting a bargain. The tweet reads, "Mind games don't work on people like me," and includes an emoji of a handshake. But the fact that what was found at YW Bortlen's house gives him every reason to just flip on Melly to take a cut. Lighter term and leave.
Police co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
When Bryson Paul was announcing. When YW Bortlen conducted a home check last week, these alleged messages were discovered and presented to the Broward clerks. Because Bortlen details are depicted in these images on paper, a description of the appearance of each jury and the location where they sat during the Melly trial. But shortly before Melly's lawyers started putting damaging evidence against him before the jury, it seemed as if Bortlen was ready to slide from Melly on these jurors if they found.
Keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy shit. Like, come the on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
When it was announced in court that Bortlen would be tried alongside Melly, and that there was a no communication order, which implies that Bortlen is most likely plotting with the federal government. Melly became extremely irate and started screaming at his lawyers. The first time Melly has openly disregarded his lawyer's advice. The story claims Melly was seen shouting at them during today's session.
Yes, sir.
Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You objected to their request for me to determine if it's automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes.
They want to use YNW Melly's team association, which is the focus of their argument. As evidence against Melly, this Facebook post was made by YNW Melly and Young Thug. Additionally, they're trying to communicate that Melly is a part of the Red Street Squad, much like Young Thug. Furthermore, the Facebook post confirms it.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs posted, displayed.
Right, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also the Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
Melly may be heard yelling at his lawyers. In response, Melly said, "I don't care," which several people in the courtroom heard. "I'm not a part of any gang. They can't prove."
924-071. Call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There were things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the gang enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the gang, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
Only because the accompanying papers will compel the trial to begin in 2027 if Melly's lawyers are successful in getting the evidence. Excluded, does he care whether it is included or not? In other words, YNW Melly will have been incarcerated for 9 years before he is guilty.
Mr. Demons, as I sit here today, has been in custody for 2,339 days. Besides Mr. Demons' cases, which I've removed, this division currently has 38 other cases, special set for trial. 22 of those are murder cases. Numerous of those are death penalty cases. And right now, this division has trial special set in December of 2026.
The state wishes to use all relevant evidence throughout the trial to ensure Melly is sentenced to life in prison.
Finally, Judge, just so, again, the record's clear, given Judge Murphy's order, and there would be an intent to comply with it, what the court is compelling the state to do is to go forward with evidence that has been suppressed. In other words, we would not be able to use that evidence.
You can't.
Right.
It's suppressed. That's exactly correct.
As of now, the attorneys could go to the appellant court and request that they issue a stay or place a hold on the trial, and that seems to be the only way that this trial does not move forward on the scheduled date. So if that doesn't happen, Melly trial number 2 will begin in about 2 months.
W. Melly's mother would notice and would then live post on Instagram with the ultimate decision on the trial's start time and possible.
What happened today is the judge has said we are not delaying trial. We will be going to trial September 10th, even though there's things that's up with the 4th DCA that has been ruled to be suppressed and not able to be used in the upcoming trial. The judge is upholding those orders. So therefore, all of basically what was up on appeal was all of that stuff, what they were using as an enhancer in order to get the death penalty qualified. The judge ordered all of that to be suppressed. So moving forward onto the new trial, the state will not be able to bring in that evidence.
Melly's lawyers would ask for a bond release at the end of the hearing until the trial in September, which would allow the prosecution to show that, among other things, Melly texted, "I did that." Hours after
Easy Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
5. Wells' reaction after not receiving a bond in his double M case. He's now been in jail for 2,320 days without a guilty verdict. the press said, highlighting the gravity of that substantiation. Even if YNW Melly's bail is denied, he has already achieved one noteworthy victory that could result in a release date. Know when an FBI agent testified. This is important to know. He specializes in studying data from cell phones. The News claims that YNW Melly's lawyers are contesting the FBI agent.
Based on the information, you can't really tell the court precisely which locations these phones are following in Kenya.
One of the limitations of cellular analysis is that you can only say a general area where the device would be at a given time.
All right. So even with the general analysis, all of the stuff that we've gone through for about 4 or 5 hours, at the end of the day, you can never give an exact location.
True.
And could you tell if somebody was walking around a car with the phone? Would you be able to tell that?
No.
So it'd be your testimony that this phone, 9807, could be from here to here, correct?
Yes.
The effect of this was that a DNA expert then testified. He studied the artifacts collected at the crime scene, including those found inside the Jeep, in what might have been Melly's biggest win to come. Several items recovered from the crime scene were found to be devoid of Melly's DNA, according to a DNA
Chris Thomas. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location, to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
Concerning part. And having YNW Bortlen on their side will answer that question. It will also address another question, though. What transpired 5 hours following the crime? Prosecutors said they had updated their evidence against YNW Melly. But he didn't know that he had been caught on camera confessing to the murders of Zach Hazer and Juvie when Melly and Bortlen were spotted dancing in a parking lot 5 hours after the...
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
These two did not show any grief for the passing of their two best friends. But worse, security footage shows YNW Melly getting ready to get into the Jeep for Zach Hazer, Juvie, and Bortlen, and Bortlen will confirm that she was sitting inside.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
Affirmation that Melly was situated there would bolster the court document's contention that the direction of bullets traveling left to right in the vehicle supports the claim that they originated from the back left.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.